university which has got a name of Golden Truth. University which has got a name of Golden Truth. University which has got a name of Golden Truth. University which has got a name of Golden Truth.
Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi. The CHARUSAT conglomerate consists of 9 institutes offering courses ranging from undergraduate programs to PhD programs. Faculty of Technology and Engineering, Chandubhai S. Patel Institute of Technology. The institute offers B.Tech programs in Civil Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Computer Engineering, Information Technology, Electronics and Communication Engineering, M.Tech programs in Electronics and Communication Engineering, Communication System, Embedded System, CAD, CAM, Advanced Manufacturing Technology, Electrical Engineering, Power System, Civil Engineering, Structural Engineering, Computer Engineering, Information Technology, PhD in various disciplines of engineering, Faculty of Computer Science and Applications, Srimati Chandaban Mohanbhai Patel Institute of Computer Applications. The institute offers BCA, BSc IT, MCA, MSc IT, and Postgraduate Diploma in Computer Application, PhD in Computer Science and Applications, Faculty of Pharmacy, Ramanbhai Patel College of Pharmacy. The institute offers B.Pharm, M.Pharm in Pharmaceutical Technology, Quality Assurance, Clinical Pharmacy, Pharmaceutics, Drug Regulatory Affairs, Pharmacology and Toxicology, PG Diploma in Cosmetics Technology and Packaging Technology, PhD in various disciplines of pharmacy, Faculty of Management Studies. The institute offers BBA, MBA, PGDM and PhD in various management disciplines, Faculty of Applied Sciences, P.D. Patel Institute of Applied Sciences. The institute offers BSc in Biological Sciences, Physics, MSc in Microbiology, Biochemistry, Biotechnology, Advanced Organic Chemistry, Physics and Mathematics, PhD in various disciplines of Applied Sciences, Faculty of Medical Sciences, Ashok and Rita Patel Institute of Physiotherapy. The institute offers BPT, NPT in Musculoskeletal Sciences, Neurological Sciences, Cardiopulmonary Sciences, Pediatrics, Rehabilitation, Women's Health and Sport, PhD in various disciplines of Physiotherapy, Manikaka Topawala Institute of Nursing. The institute offers BSc Nursing, MSc Nursing, Medical and Surgical Nursing, Obstetrics and Gynecology Nursing, Community Health, Child Health, Mental Health, and GNM. Charotar Institute of Paramedical Sciences. institute offers BSc in optometry, medical radiology and imaging technology, operation theatre and anesthesia technology, MSc in medical laboratory technology, PGDM in clinical hypnosis, hospital administration, PhD of paramedical sciences. Faculty of Technology and Engineering, Devang Patel Institute of Advanced Technology and Research. The institute offers B.Tech in Computer Engineering, Information Technology, Computer Science and Engineering. CHARUSAT Space Research and Technology Center. Realizing the huge potential of space technology for the country's development, a dedicated team of scientists undertakes research projects in satellite technology with ISRO, IPR and IRD. Dr. K.C. Patel R&D Center conducts research in emerging sciences like nanotechnology, renewable energy and biotechnology. Our sun, the bright alternative. Pramukh Swami Center of Excellence for Renewable Energy, CHARUSAT holds Human Development Center to cultivate professional knowledge and attitude towards the scientific and engineering community through intensive training and workshops. CHARUSAT Hospital. A world-class CHARUSAT multi-speciality hospital is established under the aegis of CHARUSAT Health and Research Foundation to provide quality health services in Charotar region. Today, the hospital provides specialized treatment in the field of medicine, surgery, pediatric, gynecology, orthopedics, spine and neurosurgery, ophthalmology, ENT surgery, diabetic care, dentistry, joint replacements, infertility, kidney diseases, vascular surgery, plastic surgery, etc.
Great achievements are made only when, as I said, there is a combination of both the research as well as education and academics. What are we doing here to achieve this kind of a wonderful combination of new innovations and imparting that knowledge to the new generation?
Academics and teaching. Sculpting young minds are 350 highly qualified faculty members, educated from IITs, IIMs and other premier institutes. To the students, they are both teachers and caretakers. CHARUSAT encourages students to pursue their innovative genius through experiments, turn knowledge into wisdom. Here, world of knowledge is in the palm of students' hands.
ચારુસેટમાં અમારું જે મિશન છે તે ગ્લોબલ લેવલનું શિક્ષણ આપવાનું છે.
CHARUSAT provides students with an arsenal of tools ranging from 24/7 Wi-Fi, books to e-journals, and educational films to explore world-class learning. Words that inspire wisdom, teachers that foster creativity, and projects that inculcate innovation. CHARUSAT is breaking barriers of conventional learning. TechFest. Enhance physical ability and mental capacity. Learn from leaders. Projects. Transform learning to wisdom. Each program allows students to challenge the conventions of their field with research and development projects traded by university and other agencies. CHARUSAT helps with registration of patents to protect intellectual properties. State-of-the-art laboratories equipped with avant-garde technology to enhance working knowledge and hands-on experience of the students through innovative workshops and interactive practical sessions. CHARUSAT is a kickstarter of exceptional careers through campus placement in some of the leading corporations in India and abroad. The campus boasts a huge ground encompassing a wide variety of sports with specialized training and coaching. CHARUSAT competes at state and national sports competition. Students practice their artistic endeavors under guidance of experienced teachers. CHARUSAT gives young talent a platform to blossom and flourish in their respective arts. Rural Education Development Program. Through various tours in rural districts and activities in village schools, CHARUSAT cultivate an attitude of compassionate growth and charitable outlook towards society.
In this competitive environment, CHARUSAT, a brainchild of social organization, has emerged as a global player in the education field.
At CHARUSAT, we celebrate spirit of learning, creativity, and innovation. For further information, visit our website www.charusat.ac.in, or you can email us to info@charusat.ac.in. CHARUSAT Campus, Changa, off Nadiad Petlan Highway, Gujarat 388421, India.
Srinath. I, Dr. Gayatri Patel, coordinator of this state. Integrity and ethical consideration in the conduct of research organized by University Research Cell, CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology during this 21st to 23rd May 2020. CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology is a state private university founded under the CHARUSAT Act number 8 of 2009, Government of Gujarat, located at village Changa, district Anand, Gujarat. The university aims to promote learning and knowledge by teaching and research relevant to the society. The university has been accredited grade A by the NET, Government of India, in the first cycle. Before we start, I would like to introduce about the webinar through my presentation.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chakravarti.
Good morning.
And
Now this webinar is focused on the core topic of integrity and ethical consideration in the conduct of research. It is covered what research integrity and ethics are, why they are important in the fast-growing world. Research is of great importance to individuals, to society, and to global development. Research also exercises considerable power at all these levels. For both the reasons, it is essential that research is undertaken in the ways that are ethically sound. Our action effort affect not only ourselves but also those around us. Many of our professional decisions involve ethics. If we tell a lie, we can lose someone's trust and undermine our own integrity. Integrity and ethics in the conduct of research are essential for the advancement of science and to maintain community trust in the research organization. Principles of ethics are very broad and provide the researchers from every discipline with a framework of a professional responsibilities. Researchers have an independent responsibility to ensure that their research will be of benefit to research participants, relevant groups, or society in general, and for preventing it from causing harm. Research decision must take into account that the development of a research area may entail ethically unacceptable consequences for individuals, animals, society, or the environment. In the field of research, there are national laws and regulations as well as applicable international conventions and agreements and research. Research institutions must abide by these rules. These webinars, after attending the webinar, one will able to understand current and emerging issues related to research integrity, learn how to recognize and handle ethical matters that pertain to use of animals and human participants in research. Practical tips on how to detect and prevent the plagiarism in scientific research. Now, here to understand more about the research ethics and integrity, I would like to give you one case that is called the case is like this. During the first year of graduate school, Tom has been taking courses. He is a research supervisor and doing laboratory rotations. While in Professor Allen's laboratory, Tom makes several great observations. Professor Allen tells Tom that the results will be publishable in a major journal. Now, what is the case here? Now, when Professor Allen goes to write the manuscript a month later, he finds that Tom did not record in his notebook the incubation medium and the time for the one group of experiments. Also, the computer files where Tom thinks he saved the information were accidentally erased. Now, what are the questions here? Can Professor Allen still write the paper? Would it make a difference if Tom said he could remember the details even though he didn't write them down? Would it make a difference if a technician working on the project said that he remember even though Tom could not? This is the part one of this background. Now I would like to tell you part two. Professor Allen writes his paper, which is accepted for publication. Tom finishes his first year and returns to the Professor Allen's laboratory. He begins where he left off, but in two attempts he cannot repeat the original finding. Now, questions pertaining to this: what should he and Professor Allen do about the paper, assuming it has not yet been published? What should they do if paper has been published? Now, part 3 of the same background, Professor Allen received a manuscript to review that contain experiments whose results make clear why Tom has been unable to make further progress. Now, again, questions are that can Professor Allen share this information with Tom, or what if the information was contained in a bland proposal? Now, this three part of this case indicates that how the person researchers ideally require the ethics and integrity. Now come to the speakers. I would like to introduce the speakers of this 3 days webinar series. We have on 21st today, we have the two eminent speakers of national and international acclaim. Dr. Pankaj Joshi sir, Vice Chancellor, Provost, Charutat University of Science and Technology, and Founding Director, International Center for Cosmology, CHARUSAT. We would like to deliver his topic, The Joy of Science, How to Do the Good Research. Our next speaker of the day, 21st, Mr. Manoj Kumar. He is a Senior Scientist and Head, Information and Library Network Center, Ministry of HRD, Government of India, Gandhinagar. He would like to give a topic on plagiarism in scientific research, with special focus on plagiarism policies, penalties, and consequences. Now we have a second day. The second day of this webinar, Dr. Vanna Ganguly. She is currently a professor, Department of Pharmacology and Head, UNESCO Bioethics Program, Pramukh Swami Medical College, Karamsad. She is going to talk on elements of ethical issues involving human participants. The second day we have Dr. Govind Dave, He is the Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Principal, Indupaka Itkovala Institute of Management, CHARUSAT, Chanda. He is going to deliver on topic Research Society and Ethics. We have on Sunday, 23rd May, Saturday, two eminent speakers, Dr. Tejal Gandhi and Dr. Ravi Upadhyay. So, Dr. Tejal Gandhi is currently a principal and head, Department of Pharmacology, Anand Pharmacy College, Anand. She will going to talk on conduct of ethical research involving animals. The same day we have one eminent speaker, Dr. Ravi Upadhyay. He is currently Dean, Faculty of Applied Science and Professor, Principal, P.D. Patel Institute of Applied Science, CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology. He will be giving a talk on professionalism in conduct of scientific research. Along with the speakers, we have the moderators of the 3 days. Now come to the program schedule. It is spread over the 3 days, 21st to 23rd of 10 to 12. Every day we are sent to the link to the participants of this webinar. They will join through the link provided by the organizer. Now come to the participation detail. We organizers are happy to tell you that we have received with a short span the 1500 registrations. Even we have seen the presence of the participants of different 22 states from India, and we also having the international delegates presence in our webinar from Ethiopia, Canada, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Colombia. So it is truly a true instance is called the international webinar. We have enrolled the participants of different discipline also because it is always a French to learn the different aspects of the research ethics from societal importance. So mainly this is the participants of healthcare and community disciplines. These are the designations, right? Now, in the designations, we have received the most of the participants from the research scholars and those faculties that are pursuing the PhD. We at CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology, we are very happy to welcome once again all the participants for this webinar. And lastly, I would end to take the quote of Richard Cabot: "Ethics and science need to shake hands." Thank you everyone.
Good morning. My name is Shadhar Ayuni. I'm Professor for Research and Development at CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar. I just want to give you a brief introduction to the University Research Cell that I'm a part of. The University Research Cell is essentially chartered to encourage the research culture of the university. The primary roles is to administer the CHARUSAT seed grant that we have made available to faculty members. We also support the doctoral program activities across the whole university. So the approvals come through the University Research Cell, and they are put up for to the Honorable Provost for guidance and taking the doctoral process forward. Besides this, we have a tradition of the Best Paper Award. We also felicitate all the faculty members for writing Scopus Index or Web of Science Index papers, which then are recognized in an open ceremony. We also facilitate the hiring and of the postdoctoral fellowships across the various institutes in CHARUSAT. We organize SS Bhatnagar Awardee lectures yearly, and we also, each institute invites prestigious faculty members from across the world in what we call the endowment chair activities. So these are some of the activities that the research cell pursues to support and build on the research culture of the university. I request Dr. Kamal Chakravarti sir, the head of HRDC, the Human Resource Development Center of CHARUSAT, to welcome the speaker of today and moderate the session. Thank you.
Namaskar. Our heartiest welcome to all the delegates on webinar session. Today, we have with us two eminent resource persons to take on the sessions. To begin with, we have Dr. Pankaj Joshi sir, Honorable Provost, CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology, and the founding director of Cosmology, CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology. Dr. Pankaj Joshi sir, an internationally acclaimed scientist characterized by brevity and depth of insight. Honorable Dr. Pankaj Joshi was a senior professor at the Department of Astronomy and Astrophysics at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, before joining CHARUSAT University of Science and Technology. Dr. Pankaj Joshi was more popularly regarded as a scholar, physicist, and an expert on cosmology, but he is in fact a critically creative thinker for whom the arts and sciences were not mutually exclusive but co-dependent. A man whose complexly inclusive vision of the world allowed him to be a lifelong researcher that could be illuminated through science. She has held visiting faculty position in countries. Several countries, to name a few, he was the visiting scientist to Cambridge University, UK, Harvard University, USA, New York University, to name a few. She has been awarded with many coveted awards and prizes. Some of these are the Gravity Research Foundation USA Award for research work on final fate of gravitational collapse, 1991. He is also the elected fellow of the Indian National Science Academy and others acclaimed institutions. Sir will be taking the sessions on the title The Ethics and Science. So I will request Honorable Professor to take on the session. Thank you. Just one more, what I should like to add, the time slot given is 45 minutes.
Okay, very good. Good morning, everybody. I will try to share the screen first. Actually, the host has to, remove the disabled attendee screen sharing. Okay, that is okay. Now, just a moment, we are getting the screen on. This one. Share Martin Joe. Actually, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
And can you hear me all right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. The theme of the webinar is science and its ethical considerations. And I have added to that, basically how to do good research because basically that is the purpose, right? Whether whatever deliberations we make, eventually our purpose is to come up with good, innovative, and creative new insights into the universe, into the nature of the world, the basic laws that govern the universe. Now, I was just thinking, there is so much discussion on ethics and science. Now, ethics is, of course, a big topic in itself. But then, in science, why we repeatedly talk of ethics and ethical considerations and so on and so forth? While I kept thinking about that, it was brought to my attention that there are all sorts of issues like journals, you see, which publish not so good papers, or the commercial considerations entering, or the what is well known today, cut and paste kind of research, plagiarism testing softwares. Now, when I kept hearing all these things, uh, I just got, very confused, to be very frank with all of you. I was just wondering as to why all these worries should be there, really speaking. So, today what I will try to do is I will just emphasize one basic theme. If we do one thing, if we start taking joy from what we are doing, if we enjoy our work, then many of these worries, you see, ethical considerations and plagiarism and all sorts of, there are books and books and there are lectures and lectures. All these worries will go away. What we need to really do is all the scientists, all the professors, all the academics, what they should start doing is they should start enjoying their work. Once they enjoy their work, you see, they will be least bothered about, all sorts of softwares to check their research and check their writings and all that. Just do one thing, go deep into what you are doing, understand well what you are doing, and then from understanding, develop the insight, and then from insight, you develop the application. What we do right now, we work other way around. Ulta kar dete hain. You see, we first want application of everything. Apply, application. But I'll just go to, some examples very soon. What came first? Application came first or the research came first? Understanding came first or the application came first? See, Newton developed all these laws of universe, all these laws of motion, and the first law, second law, third law. I need not go into that. Michael Faraday, gave talks in London to the general public, creating interest in, public, what he was doing, what electricity, magnetism, how fantastic and amazing phenomena this are. And once that was done, there was an interest, there was a, joy, there was a new insight into the nature of the universe. And then once that thing came, then there was no question of, who did first what. Sometimes such questions do arise in science also, but What we were basically talking about is industrial applications came after this basic understanding. You see my point? First thing you have to do is to understand the nature by itself, and then the applications emerge on their own. When Ramanujan developed, you see, this number theory, amazing, sorts of theorems he started giving. Then people asked these questions. Oh, what is the use of this kind of mathematics and this kind of theorems? And then his guru, Professor Hardy, actually wrote a book, you see, on uselessness of, his mathematics. He says, I don't want to do any useful mathematics. This I can give you a reference. He was so angry. He says, I don't care for your applications. I want to do my mathematics for my enjoyment. And is that not the very first use? After all, every application, what are you going to use it for? For your joy, right? You want inner satisfaction. Now, if I am getting my inner satisfaction right away without, any of your gadgets, any of your industry, any of your, this and that kind of instruments, then let me enjoy myself. But then later, you know what happened? Later, what happened was the theorems that were discovered by Hardy and Ramanujan today, they are part of the modern banking system. This encryption, what we call, you see, the privacy or the safety in the banking transactions and so on, all these mathematical results are being used there. Can you believe that? So, what I am trying to tell today, because you see, this is a very big issue. Especially in university sector for students who are doing PhD, and too much energy is going more on ethics rather than on science. So, I will try to tell you a few things on these issues. My introduction was a bit longish, but I think it was probably needed. See, before a few centuries, this was the state of man. We saw the dome of the sky and the stars, and then what was told to us is beyond the celestial sphere, there is the unknown universe, unknown world. There are the forces, you see, which are not understood by anybody. The fearsome, happenings out there. Just don't look, you see, away. But then there were people, like in this picture, you see on one hand, you see a scientist. That scientist is, what is the name of that scientist? Probably many of you know. It's Galileo. On other hand, so Galileo was science. On the opposite side, there are three people. This fellow is only one person, okay? The scientist. And there are three people sitting opposite to him. Who are these people? They are the ethics people. What is ethics? Moral principles. So you see, you need so many people to emphasize morality. Scientist, he is convinced about what he is doing. His appeal is standing by himself. So, he raised the inquiry into the unknown. I am just telling you, how the definition of ethics itself is changing. What was ethics in those times? There, the ethics was not to challenge the belief that, Earth is at the center or whatever. Those cosmology beliefs were there. Now he challenged, and it was of course highly unethical, right? According to these people. And this fellow thought what he is telling is the truth. And truth is the ethics. We need not elaborate, books and books on ethics, really. If you are convinced on the truth of the matter, and if you are honest by yourself, simple things, then ethics will come on its own into your behavior, into your action, into your speech, and into all the research that you are doing. So you don't have to, worry so much. I'm sorry, I am not, I don't want to take away the blast of the webinar. I mean, there are going to be so many lectures on the ethics, and so these are practical aspects. So I am just, trying to tell the crux of the matter, that you enjoy yourself, be honest, and search the truth. Then ethics, that is ethics. And then Galileo argued, with this priest. And then today, of course, we know the story. We have been told that, the sun is at the center of the solar system, planets going around the same, and so on and so forth. Now, here is another example. I see some courses, you must have for PhD students, study the research methodology. And the whole lot of research methodology is taught, and you must get credits, and only if you study research methodology, you are eligible to, go forward in your PhD work. All right, I am not objecting to it, but I am giving you an example. Who is here? Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest physicists and mathematicians of the day. Did he take a research methodology course before he started, his researches? What was his research methodology? His research methodology was the genuine curiosity in the natural phenomena. Here he is, we are just coming out of this corona epidemic. I hope we are coming out. And similar thing was happening in those days. There was a plague, or a disease engulfing those entire regions where Newton was staying in the England, and then he went away somewhere far away, and then he had leisure and peace. Okay, these are two other ingredients for doing good work, good research. Abhi aap, if you keep, getting yourself lost into the ethical questions, you will make yourself unhappy and world also unhappy. But try to be in peace, try to be in leisure. Of course, if you have peace and leisure, that doesn't mean you will make great discoveries. Okay? Because many of our friends, they enjoy peace and leisure without doing much creative work. So they don't end up, at doing any great work. But these are essential if you are going to do good research. Beyond peace and leisure, then if you have, curiosity on nature around yourself, then here is the, great guy, the great scientist. And you know what? He was so scared of the discussions and debates and controversies that he did not publish a lot of his work, because it frequently happened that he wrote something, like there is a famous debate between Newton and Leibniz, who discovered the calculus. So, you see, Newton has to understand nature. सबको तो नेचर को अंडरस्टैंड करना नहीं है. हमारा तो क्या कुछ, वी आर लुकिंग फॉर सम वर्क. अरे ये न्यूटन ने क्या किया, ये तो पहले लाइबनिज ने कर दिया था, ये तो न्यूटन इज चीटिंग, दिस दैट. न्यूटन डजंट हैव टाइम टू think like this. But there are lots of people who have time to think like this, because they don't have any other curiosity what Newton has. So there was a big controversy in his time that he has plagiarized Leibniz's work. Leibniz had done calculus first. but he just वो क्या कहते हैं कि उसने he took away the work of Leibniz. But then, can it not happen that the great thoughts come simultaneously to great people? We have this famous proverb that great people think alike. So Newton was so scared of this kind of plagiarism and ethical controversies that he simply did not write many of his works. But then finally he was persuaded to write, he wrote this famous book, Principia, or what is the correct pronunciation, Principia or whatever. He wrote this, monumental volume describing some of his works, but many of his works, in fact, have not been written. He was a very mystical person, by the way. Lot of his writings are, hidden in the cupboards or the, जो पेटी कहते हैं ना पटारा लकड़े का, तो you see they are just stored in Cambridge in his college, and a lot of work, lot of research is going on. What I am trying to tell you here is, I don't think Newton had time to go and examine कि किसने क्या किया. Luckily there was no computer in his time, so he didn't sit with a computer all the time, and then he didn't have the opportunity to do the cut and paste even if he wanted to. So you see, he devoted all his time in pure thought, pure creative work, pure creative action. The important point is the nature and observation of nature. I'll give you another example. You see, the upper part of this screen is showing a total solar eclipse. So there were these two armies actually fighting for decades on, in the Middle East. This is actually a historical phenomena. If you want, I can give you a reference later on. Now they were already fed up, but the generals are ordering, the soldiers are fighting, the war goes on, and once it so happened that as they they were doing their wars, the total solar eclipse occurred, and while fighting also, they were looking in the skies, and suddenly there was a change of colors in the skies and the light happening and all that. And then this armies thought we have been fighting for such a long time. Obviously we are doing not so good things, we are doing bad things, and now the nature is angry with us. With this corona also, many people were asking, human beings must be doing many wrong things. Of course they are doing many wrong things, there's no question about it, but this is the outcome. So this army thought that the nature will go bust now, there will be pralay, and the whole universe will be annihilated. And what they did, they made a truce, Sandhi kar liya, and then they married children amongst each other, their countries. So this is one thing where the eclipse did a good thing. Generally we are told that when there is an eclipse, you shouldn't go out and this and that. So this is one historic true example when the eclipse did a good thing. We had in our country also a lot of thinking, on these issues. Unfortunately, in the modern times, that is in recent decades, we do not ask too many questions in our culture. We have stopped asking questions, but this was never our culture. If you look at the Upanishads, if you look at our ancient texts, they are full of dialogues where the student or the shishya or whoever is asking a question to the guru. It is not that कि ये गुरु ने बोला है कर देने का है, no question to be asked. That is totally incorrect. So out of this question answers only emerged, lot of great science. But the important point is we have to rediscover, we have to bring it out in a fashion, in a way, so that we see it in a true sense, so that we can present the whole thing to the modern world in a much better scientific manner. Now, again, today, what is happening? Very major scientific developments are taking place. See, what I am trying to tell you is give this debate on ethics and plagiarism and everything a very small part in your life. That is what I mean, you should know everything. Okay? I'm not saying you should not know. But what I am trying to emphasize is that you go into the excitement of science, you go into the enjoyment of science, and then ethics will come automatically. You will not be bothered. You see, you are वो कहते हैं ना, these lawyers usually keep fighting cases. There are books of laws, and then obviously, you see, we want to hide the truth somewhere, right? Why courts are thriving? Why? I mean, there are so many arguments going on. Why there are hearings and so on and so forth. See, two parties are in conflict. And it's basically always an ethical conflict, right? Because someone, appropriated someone's property or, things like that. Three things are there. I mean, you see, property and money and, other ego issues. From that, most of the matters arising in courts are happening. So these are all ethical issues. So what is happening? One of the parties is hiding the full truth. Now the court has usually the headache to make this, who is hiding? What is the job of the court of the law? Who is hiding the truth? And my God, how much time we waste for that? Now suppose both the parties were telling the truth. Would it take so much time? It will not take so much time. Now, why one of the parties is hiding the truth? We should go deeper. One of them are hiding the truth because of the greed. You see, they want more. They want to, a one-upmanship. I am better than you. That kind of a thing. So, if that greed is not there, or it is reduced at least, then obviously there won't be much work for the court of laws. Similarly, if you are, into the enjoyment of science, if you are doing something new rather than, judging others all the time. I think, by the way, my father himself was a, very good lawyer. And he asked me whether I want to become a lawyer. And with folded hands, I said that, I do not want to, bother about, others' fights all the time. Of course, in the university now, we don't have fights, but, we have a lot of works where we deal with people, but we try to do it in a creative manner rather than, indulging into legalities. So what I am trying to tell you is that if you go into the enjoyment of science, then, आपका सर जो है ना हल्का हो जाएगा, आपका ब्लड प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा. You will gain much better health. By doing science, you should become more healthy. What here is happening is that, by, this word PhD and Viva and all this, you see, citations and scopus, and we have to have, some such things, I mean, for standardization. But by overemphasizing those things rather than creativity and innovations, we are spoiling everybody's health. The judges also spoil their health because at the end of the day, they feel that they have not achieved much. And the participants also spoil their health because every moment they are protecting themselves. You see, कि कहीं truth बाहर ना आ जाए हमारा. So, we all, what I am trying to tell, you see, all the participants of this webinar, including, our own faculty, whoever they are, going into this, that we will reduce our work enormously if we go into the excitement, real excitement of science. Now, SCA, TMT, LIGO, LISA, Event Horizon Telescope. You see, wonderful things are happening in our probe of the cosmos. These are the things going on right now, at the moment. And if we, look at one of the earlier innovations, the Hubble Space Telescope, look, you can actually see the surface of the Earth from the far away telescope into the space. Such telescope was discovered and developed, in order to see the universe, the farthest reaches of the universe, without the hindrance of clouds and atmospheres and so on. Because once you go up there, far away into the sky, then what happens is that the clouds, the atmosphere, etc. is not hindering you, and then your depth of vision increases enormously. And then what you see out there, the world of galaxies. The world of galaxies, each of this, you see, spots that you are seeing in the picture are all different galaxies as seen by this Hubble Space Telescope. And you know what each galaxy is? It is 400 to 500 billions of stars. Billions, huh? Billions is 10 raised to 9, 100 crores. So many stars. And out of, you see, those so many stars, our sun is just one of the ordinary stars and one of the ordinary galaxies, which is our Milky Way galaxy. And that sun has an entire planetary system. You see, 7 or 9 planets, whichever way you want to count, and Earth is just one of those, ordinary planets. Jupiter is much bigger, Mars is much redder, Earth is just one of the planets, smaller planets of the planetary system. In there are 5 continents. There, you see, we are in Asia and in India and in Gujarat and in CHARUSAT, Anand district, you see. And then you see, what I am trying to tell is that our existence is smaller than that of even an ant that is, you see, sitting on your cloth somewhere in your house. We are so tiny, and still we have so many worries, you see, on plagiarism, on ethics, on how to conduct ourselves and so on. Only if we understand how small we are in the universe, lot of our greed, lot of our ego will go away, and then ethics will become, you see, imbibed into your personality. You will not have to do courses. Of course, do the courses. I am not saying not to do the courses, but you see, it will become, you see, part of your, being. And ultimately, only that knowledge is the correct knowledge which becomes part of yourself. हर एक बात के लिए अगर आप एक दौड़ के किताब लेके जाएंगे, किताब में से ढूंढेंगे कि कहाँ है वो फैक्ट, that is not the knowledge, you see. Einstein used to say Yeah, I'm not interested in what is the value of C and what is the value of gravitational constant G. He doesn't remember all that, you see. Why then Einstein is Einstein? You see, he always said that the imagination is much more important than the information or the usual knowledge. So this is the real ethics, I would say. To understand what is really the science, okay? To understand what is the science, if you understand what is science, then that itself is ethics, really. All these problems are caused because we do not understand what is science. And then all these instruments are explaining to us what the big universe is. So here is Einstein. He had this E equal to, mc square equation, the famous equation. And then you see, we come to the world of black holes. Fascinating, if you are thinking all the time of black holes, where is the time to think of, ethics? You are thinking of nature. You are thinking of cosmos. You are thinking of the Brahman. You see, these are all very interesting things, you see, which are, very directly connected with what is told in our texts, you see, many years ago, thousands of years ago. There, we have this word, you see, called focus, attention. We use the word dhyan, okay? Professor Chakravarti, takes our faculty, our people, our students, you see, to several retreats and so on. But again, I don't want to oversimplify anything. But I say, just focus your attention on one thing. Suppose I am thinking on the black hole all the time. Then where is the time for me to bother on all the nitty-gritties and worldly things? Okay, I am thinking on the cosmos. I am thinking on the universe. And then I do not then indulge into, interpersonal issues, so to say. All these ethical considerations come, why? They come when you indulge, when you have to bother about worldly things. Day-to-day affairs. तुमने क्या किया, मैंने क्या किया, तुमने पहले किया, मैंने पहले किया. So, if you think of the cosmos, so this is the world of, so to say, black holes. And now, I will give you another example. I told you about, Galileo. I told you about Newton. Now, here is a person, probably each of you, or 99% of you, will be able to, recognize is Stephen Hawking. When he came to India at the Tata Institute in 2001, he was in reasonably a good shape compared to his, later years. But then I was in Cambridge with him for, several months actually as his research assistant or research fellow or whatever you call it. And you see, my God, if you take science as the religion, okay, your religion is science, then science itself becomes your own ethics. So with this person, you see, who could not move even his hand, he could not turn a page, and still, what will happen? We will all go, together with his students, and I was a visitor. So we'll all go by this river Cam in Cambridge. There is this river Cam. So by the river Cam, we will all walk. We'll go to the cafeteria, and the lunch. You see, he will be put up. A cloth will be put up around his neck, वो apron कहते हैं, जो भी कहते हैं, and then he'll be fed by one of his students. Slowly, just as a child is being fed. And you know what? The lunch will go on for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, whatever. वहां पे वो नहीं है, एथिक्स नहीं है कि अरे वॉकिंग जल्दी क्यों नहीं आया, ऑफिस में क्यों नहीं बैठ गए. You see, we have this, you see, oh, you come at 9 o'clock. Before 4:30 you cannot go. Or 5 o'clock you go. And then everybody has on their head, you see, अरे 9 o'clock, rush, you see, नहीं तो क्या होगा. And अभी कितना 3:30 बजे, अच्छा, half an hour we have to spend, and then you say, चलो, pack your bags, घर पे पहुंचो. But the fellow, he is taking his lunch, but he is thinking on science. So nobody is going to question him. Nobody is going to tell him, कि आप Professor Hawking, why you were taking your lunch for 1.5 hours? You are wasting your time. Because you see, while doing his lunch, he is discussing with his students. And my God, I mean, he was respected by the scientists all over the world. And he was not respected because you see, he was not, capable of, he was a disabled person, not because of that reason, but for his scientific discoveries, he was respected. His discoveries were much greater than, even people with 2 hands, 2 legs running, and doing these things and, sports and table tennis, badminton, जो भी करते हैं, better than all those people. So how come? So think of this again. So again, you see, one pointed and focused attention. I think I am left with about 10 minutes, I understand. So you see, what I will try to tell you in, rest of my time, say about 10 minutes, is that, what scientific frontiers we are exploring today. The galaxies, you see, we are watching intergalactic happenings, and from the center of a galaxy there are very powerful jets coming out. This is one of those, you see, this is a picture from the book of Professor Kip Thorne, who was just awarded the Nobel Prize in 2017 for the discovery of gravitational waves. And we debated, you see, a lot of science. But he has written, this very interesting book, Black Holes and Time Warps. And this is from that book. On this, you see, space-time singularities, I myself I was invited to write an article by the well-known 150 years old magazine, Scientific American. That was their cover story. This is the story about, massive stars, really. What happens to stars in the universe when they, run out of their internal nuclear fuel? Now, I cannot go into the details of this because 45 minutes is not the time where I can cover, everything. But hopefully, we will have another chance to discuss these issues maybe on some other occasion. But what I am trying to tell you is that this is another major question in cosmology and astrophysics today. That is the final fate of a massive collapsing star at the end of its life cycle. And the article here is really telling you the frontier discoveries in this connection. And this is the kind of things that we do in our Cosmology Center here at CHARUSAT. Now, look, very humble students, you see, who came to our Cosmology Center from all over India and also from Gujarat. They have ended up doing good work. Now why? They have published good papers. Why? How they could do it? By not getting themselves entrapped into, you see, the legal issues. What is plagiarism and what is, you see, this and that and how to do research, and they have also taken courses. But the basic thing they have done is they have written, you see, their research papers, they have enjoyed their science, and by doing so, they went to another plane. This is another very important point. Okay? They have changed their mental state. Their mental state is different from the ordinary mental state, which is the worry of a degree, the worry of a job, the worry of their well-being, and this and that constant, you see, nuisance. Unit, you see, courses khatam hue ki nahi, exam mein kya hoga. So they transcended that ordinary mental state, and they went to the state where they were filled with curiosity. Arey, ye kya hai? What is the secret of this? I want to figure this out. I want to work out this problem. And one of our students told me he used to work till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night. And then you see, because he has to report back at 9 o'clock, then he will take, you see, 4 hours sleep. Then I told him, don't worry, I will write a note for you. You take enough sleep. If you are working during the night, it's okay. You are working. So you see, sometimes by, rigid laws, how we kill creativity. These are very concrete examples. It is very difficult to come out of these things. It takes a lot of time. And you see, we are all not, you see, Gandhis of the world. Gandhi had, you see, all his time devoted to explaining people, you see, ethics and morals and all that. But then we have to write research papers, we have to, investigate cosmos. But Gandhi had his own cosmos. Anyway, so these are the frontier, you see, problems. Lots of exciting things are happening. But just to end my, you see, talk in... I think I have 5 minutes. See, we people here in university are very strict on timings. I was never, you see, so punctual when I was at Tata Institute. Here, if I am 1 minute late, my God, everybody is up in their chairs. So I have to be very particular. Anyway, I am trying to improve myself over the time. But anyway, I'll tell you, you see, the Event Horizon Telescope is trying to probe, you see, the very center of our universe. And by, you see, probing the cosmos, this is the, the central part. I think now I'll take only 2-3 minutes maybe. This is one of the pictures, you see, one is trying to get. And what you see out there is the shadow of a black hole. Last year in the April, there were a lot of news on the shadows of the black hole. This is the LIGO instrument. We are trying to build, a small prototype. It's a very ambitious project. I'm not sure whether we'll succeed or not, but we have made some small beginnings. You see, our researchers, you see, Dr. Rucha Desai, Dipanjan, and you see our students Parth and Ashok Joshi, and they are all involved. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, that they all are worked up always with the excitement of science. So that is what I want to tell you. I mean, just get worked up with excitement and joy of mathematics. These are the two merging black holes, you see, which will produce gravitational waves. And here in this last slides, you see Professor Kip Thorne, who I referred to. So Kip Thorne posed another major frontier problem in astrophysics today. I was just communicating with him the day before. He said, you see how the particles will go around if there was a black hole. And then he asked this question, that what if the central body is not a black hole? For example, if it is a naked singularity. Now you see, if I talk of naked singularity, the world will not listen. But when Kip Thorne, who is there in the picture, when he is asking this is a question, the big scientists of the world will take it seriously. कि अरे, ये तो कुछ होना चाहिए, there must be something. So then he pointed out, and now you see in this picture Professor Thorne very clearly. Here he pointed out that as opposed to the black hole picture here, where the trajectories were very, regular, in the naked singularity case, there will be very chaotic trajectories around the center, and that will produce different kind of waveforms. So you see, my question now, my excitement now, and my joy right now is to work this out, find out the answer to this question. And if I do that, it has to be original, right? Because it can't be, I can't copy it from anywhere. I can't plagiarize it from anywhere. I have to think it for myself. And if I do that thinking, I will enjoy my work. If I enjoy my work, then I'll write down myself. And then, obviously, I'm an ethical person. All right, I think with this note, I would like to end. I am not sure if there is a possibility of taking any questions, but if there is, way, then I'll be happy. Otherwise, you just proceed. Thank you very much again to the university, to Dr. Chakradhar, Professor Chakrabarti, all the our wonderful people, Gayatri, Ben, and all others. I may not remember all the names, but a warm thanks to all of you for this wonderful opportunity to share a few thoughts. Thank you. Thank you.
इनकी तो खत्म अभी आ जाएगा
questions and one way communication. सही बात है. पता नहीं उन्हें टाइमर ऑफ कर दो. Okay, bye everybody. Hello.
Good morning, Vice Chancellor sir.
Hello.
For that and other people. Am I being aired right now, or am I talking to only to you?
No, you're only talking to a few of us.
Only to you. It has not been aired. And Dr. Gayatri and Kamal sir, I will start with my mass for the time being because I am from the containment area. 12,500 plagiarism, 750. So we are not asked to travel without mask, even without gloves and all that sanitization. So we follow SMS very, very. This message should go to everybody. We are from Gujarat, 12,500. So I will start with that, then I will remove it. That's how I wanted to do it. And I will start with MHRD's policies and what is there right now. So then I will move on to the topic of plagiarism, which is my favorite topic.
Sir, Dr. Kamal will introduce you now.
Okay, and one more minute before we start. Is this background is disturbing or is it is okay?
It's okay.
Or otherwise okay. I can put another background. This is okay?
Good. Yes.
This is good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Then that's okay. Right. Sorry for making it 2 minutes settings on that.
Namaskar. We welcome our next speaker, Mr. Manoj Kumar.
Can I start?
We welcome you, sir, on the second session on plagiarism in scientific research with special focus on plagiarism policies, penalties, and consequences. We have we have Mr. Manoj Kumar, Senior Scientist and Head, Information and Library Network Center. Sir is currently working in InflibNet Center from 2004. He has wide experience of 22 years in information and technology, which include more than 5 years experience in IIM Koshikode. Sir has participated in umpteen number of programs, very erudite scholar indeed, and today's topic itself is quite a relevant one, and to certain extent sensitive too. So we believe that that this particular topic will really focus more on the various nitty-gritty aspect of this idea theft issue and the other aspects which will be very helpful for the research aspirants. So, sir, we welcome you and over to you for the session. Thank you.
Good morning, viewers. So, good morning, the research community and the research scholar, faculty members. And I am thankful to the professor, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Joshi, and Dr. Gayatri Patel for inviting for a 45-minute talk on the plagiarism issues. So right now I'm talking from Gandhinagar. I moved from travel from Ahmedabad. As you are aware, our state is having 12,500 cases, and we have about 750. That's which is alarming. So we are supposed to keep SMS policy as it is. The SMS stands for sanitization and mask and social distancing. But since nobody is there in my room, I take liberty of removing my mask now. So that will give you more way of more freedom to talk. And I was listening to the Vice Chancellor very keenly, who is also a researcher, and he's from Tata Institute, who has done extensive research on that, quoting Einstein, quoting Stephen Hawking. And definitely that was a very interesting talk to both the researcher, including me. So I will be talking about a few points on plagiarism. You are very specific on plagiarism and its issues. I represent InflibNet Center, which you can see behind me, the Information Library Network Center, which is an IUC of University Grant Commission. And MHRD, UGC and InflibNet is taking this lockdown period for the benefit of the academic community on online mode. So we have moved a lot of programs. So I hope that your students and faculty member can make use of this also. So I will start with that and I will quickly skip on to that. Can I go to the slide? So once again, thanking you for inviting me for these sessions to start with, following Vice Chancellor. Can I start, sir? I need only a thumbs up from you, sir. So because I can't see every participants. Yes. Right. Now I'm going to the screen mode, share mode. And that's it. My topic is plagiarism in scientific research with a special focus on plagiarism and policies penalty. So, InflimNet Center, where you can see that you may be knowing that InflimNet Center is the organization product giving plagiarism detection software (PDS), especially named Shuddhi. Under that, we are providing Urkun to all the universities, including your university should get it. So that is the only qualification I can stand before you, apart from what you introduced. So quickly that we are working with, maybe this is first time I am addressing the faculty in your institute, apart from the people who came here for attending our training program. So we started in 91 and 96 we become independent as an IUC, like NAC or Nuclear Science Center or IUCA. These are our sister organizations. There are 7. Then we focused more on library automation and creation of a union catalog, which is beneficial for the people, academic community. That union catalog is called INCAT. Then we made that UGC Infonet connectivity for the nation, and later it has been migrated and rolled out as National Knowledge Network. From 2004 I joined. After that, so many programs taken care of by InflimNet Center. One of the major flagship program is providing electronic journals to the research community under the name called UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium. And recently, maybe 3-4 years back, this has been renamed as eShow and we are providing to about 300 plus institutions directly, and about 400 people are using it, and 4,000 colleges are also using the services of this enlist under eShow Sindhu. What we provide is electronic journal and e-books to the colleges. So we are providing about 15,000 electronic journals to the universities, which a private university can also subscribe. So this has given a question that when people are writing article, how they can tackle with that. So we have a lot of other initiative in InflimNet Center. So you can see that how we have grown as a full-fledged free with a lot of activities. Where I mentioned about this automation, Indian catalog, Vidwan, the expert database, then Enlist. Enlist is for the colleges, for electronic books and electronic journal. Then we have eShow Sindhu, Enlist is part of that, merging 3 consortia together. AICT, Industry Consortium, UGC Info and Enlist, all merged together in the nation, and we directly give this to the academic community in various categories. All central universities, state universities, deemed universities, and some of the private universities, all those who are having 12B status, they are eligible for getting this, including CFTIs, IIMs, IITs, etc. under the scheme. And we have another very interesting project which is very useful for researcher. I will start from there, sir. My specific focus is on plagiarism issues. So I will start from where this need arise. 2006 there was a meeting in 2005 there was a meeting in UGC where UGC asked us exploring the possibility of stopping plagiarism in the country. Rather than deterring plagiarism and finding out how to stop plagiarism, that was a mandate given to InflimNet Center. So we have made some kind of like plagiarism is mainly appearing in PhD thesis. A thesis submitted in one university can be easily resubmitted in another university without any change. Or without any change means you need to change only title page length. If your thesis submitted in one university in an area, which is one region of our nation, and so resubmit into another region. Let us take west or northeast or south or north. So there was no mechanism to find out if duplication of resubmission or plagiarized thesis we submitted. This was the challenge we were facing, not very long back. It was in 2005. So UGC made some kind of guideline that this can be only stopped if you put your thesis online. So in this context, what we did is like we started a portal telling people that at least you digitize your thesis. Still, we could not get much result on that in 5 and 6. So in 2009, the landmark notification came from UGC. That is, every thesis produced in the country should be digitized, and that should be hosted in a national portal for the public and open access view, so that everybody will come to know that what is done by a researcher. This is the first step in the country to stop plagiarism. Now people are scared. If I am taking somebody's thesis and reproducing, the original author can challenge, or anybody in the world can challenge that. Okay, this has been already submitted. So digitizing of thesis is first. That is what this Shodh Ganga stand for. I hope that you can see it here. Then we have other infopod, ICSSR data services, EPG Parashala, Swayam, MOOC, Swayam Prabha, 32 channels now. Day before yesterday, when Finance Minister was he was telling that we will dedicate a channel for a classroom. There are 32 channels, education channels under the scheme called Swayam Prabha right now. And this is maintained, the catalog, metadata, everything is maintained by InfluMed Center. We also do the India ranking for universities called NIRF. We are the technical support behind NIRF. I hope that policy making people, academicians and policy making officials of university know what NIRF is. It is not common for everybody to understand, and any other. So from this, I would request you, sir, to start that MHRD has come out in the during COVID time. The link for learning, this MHRD website, and this is the website, ICT initiatives. So where you will also see plagiarism, one of this. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to my talk with your mobile phone, what I request is that take a snapshot of it. Take your mobile phone and just click a picture of it and keep it with you so that you can, or you can even type it immediately on that and find it. So if you go to this MHRD's website, you will see about 13 programs right now running during lockdown, which will be useful for the researcher. Excuse me. 1 minute, somebody came to my room without knowing. The other one is that what is listed in MHRD, ICT, and all this website is another one is this Shodh Sindhu 850 journal. So this is our product. So you can come to InfluMed Web Center and come to know about it. Just a passing mention only. Right now we are providing 217 or 3,200 institutions. This screenshot is little old. Now 31, if you look at here, 31 lakhs e-books are available. So these are the institutions, these are the resources available in eShod Sindhu. So try to type it in Google and find out. 314 university and CFT is part of it. These are some of the institutions, what Central University deemed, which I already mentioned. I'm just skipping it. These are not very important right now. But these are journals which you can refer, which is recommended by UGC and InfluMed. We subscribe this journal. That means these are the authenticate sources. Come to eShod Sindhu. As a researcher, you cannot take content from everywhere. The content which you are taking for research should be a peer-reviewed reference article. So the peer-reviewed journals articles are published by the publishers like JSTOR, Oxford University Press, ASME, ACM Digital. So this was in 2019 as well as 20 also. Web of Science, annual reviews, project news, some of the journal. And in Enlist is a component of eShod Sindhu where people can read about 6 to 7,000 journals. And they don't need to log in into our system. They can get a username and password through colleges. So if any colleges are affiliated to your university, I'm not very sure. sure for it. Or college research scholars are watching, or college teachers are listening to me, then I request you that contact your principal to subscribe to these resources and list. So 6,000 plus e-journals, 31.5, and that there are already so many members. These are the resources available. And since you have some science background, Institute of Physics, their stories, 3,000 journals are for social science annual reviews. And I just skip all these things. This is just to make you understand these are available right now. And the Swayam, there is a COVID. You might have already gone to Swayam more. There are so many courses announced out, including research ethics. I can only deliver a lecture for 45 minutes. But this Swayam, if you go, there are courses which is coming up in July, which is for 6 months duration. You get a 4-credit course. If you are doing this course with research ethics courses even launched by our institute, Host Institute, I am the PI of this course, and you can register for that. And there are so many online courses announced by Swayam, and there is a COVID special link here in the Swayam portal. So you put swayam.gov.in, and you can otherwise go directly for the resources into Swayam, storage.google API, unique course online. And these are the Swayam provides the channels, TV channels I mentioned, 32 channels supported by government. There is a transponder publicly available by government, and through that CEC is making program, NPTEL is making program. These are, and try to find out your subject and hook on to the channel and watch it. And NDL, you must be knowing, National Digital Library of India, which is having so many resources now, and there are 100 types of learning resource, different types I'm telling. Video is only one type, e-text. So log on to ntl.iitkgp.ac.in for the resources. E-Yantra and Visual Lab project. This will give you a visual lab kind of experiment. These are all available right now in MHRD. Spoken tutorial on many subjects, especially by using open source. Audio video tutorials are there, vlab.cov.in. First aid, open and free source software. And then we have this Shodh Gangotri research in progress, OJS portal. Right now, this has crossed 2.60 is the screenshot I have, but this is more than 2.70. 2.7 lakh PhD theses are available for you. And if you look at that even month-wise, in April itself, this has gone up. During lockdown, people have submitted PhD theses. Shodh Gangotri is ongoing PhD. So we found that as good as 500 plus research scholars submitted their synopsis into Shodh Gangotri. So Shodh Gangotri will give you a picture of, like, this will give you full text. You don't need to register. You can just log in and search for your content and download, free to use. You can share with anybody, and also cite and quote in your research article. This is the URL of Shodh Ganga, and you can see various subject here, and you can see various languages here, and chemistry is highly, the topmost rated subject is chemistry right now in Shodh Ganga as far as research, Indian research is concerned. And this is during lockdown also. We have an average page views of 2 lakh people. So this is one page view during lockdown. Visits during lockdown, and number of users is approximately 8,500 on an average we are having on this. So I hope that your university is using this for that. Now let us come to your plagiarism. That is what is called PDS. Can I go, sir, ahead? Is it okay? I give an introduction. Now directly I am going to the plagiarism. Shodh Shuddhi is the name given for this platform, where we provide the anti-plagiarism software. So there are 2-3 methods to avoid. One is avoiding plagiarism at the time of writing itself. Or second way is that learn properly how to cite if you are taking a content from one side. And third one is after writing the content, check with one of the tools. So we provide this tool, but tool is not essentially the last word. Tool is just to give you that you have unintentionally copied anything in your article or not. Right now, this is given to 1,032 institutions in the country, and we are seeing 650 universities are using. If your university is not using it, please get back to me. And this tool is available. We can give a username and password for each and every faculty of your institute who are doing research. And right now 80,000 users are there. And this year, that means 1st September onwards, about 3.6 lakhs documents are submitted into this Urkun software, which is part of this Shodh Shuddhi. So Shodh Shuddhi is launched by the Honorable Minister of HRD, Sri Ramesh Pokhriyal, during the CAPE meeting, this Centrally Accredited Board Education meeting that in Delhi, where the draft education policy was announced. In the same day, this product was announced. So we are almost now 1 year touching after 3 months. Now, this is what request I want to do. This tool is available for all of you. If your university recommend for the supervisors, and especially PhD research scholar and supervisor, tool is available. So how many researchers are there? As many username and password can be created. Then all of you can, if you are an expert in this, you can register in this Vidwan platform. Vidwan later has turned into IRINS. So kindly note it down. IRINS is a research network. And I will request you, those who are watching this video, give IRINS and IIT Madras. You will get the publication and citations of all the faculty member of IIT Madras. There are 20-25 institute which has created. Why this is required? Because researcher is to be connected. So innovation in research, creation of research. So IRINS will become a platform in India very soon by connecting all the researchers together. As on date, 30 universities are using it. IIM Ahmedabad is using, IITs are using, Madras Kamaraj University is using, Gujarat University is using. So many universities are come across, and centrally funded institution, even MHRD is funding for creation of their profiles. So this should be one thing which your university should take care. Since you are a private university, you have to request us to have an instance of IRINS in your institute. So this is something very Dr. Gayatri is watching. So you can write a mail to our technical team scientists to become get a part of this. Then these are the research material, EPG Parashala. There are video materials available and UGC MOOCs. I think you are taking the screenshot. So I give stop only 2-3 seconds only because the major portion is to be covered. Again, this is MOOC 1, NIOS, NET. This is NCRT Pathshala. They have given all the book there. This announcement was done by even Finance Minister in the recent. Diksha, another program on that. So if you look at this is for teachers. And National Educational, the other one is that NEET, Educational Alliance for Technology. Now next. So I just skip it here and I go to the slide which talks about plagiarism. Is it okay, sir? Because since I am listening, I am not seeing anybody's face here except Kamal Chakrabarti sir. So I will be requesting that if everything is audible, everything is going perfect, you can tell thumbs up so that I'll go. This is a picture you see from a school. The plagiarism is inbuilt because we are not trained to use it from the school days. The word plagiarism is learned to researcher when they started doing PG courses or when they started dissertation or PhD work. Before that, this is not been discussed. So I put that picture to make understand that we have projects starting from school itself. So the students are generally copying content from various sources. So this is one of the source. I made a statement here. Internet has made it easier for everyone to plagiarize with the search engine Google or any other. And do you agree with me or not? And some of you might not be agreeing, but many of you will agree that yes, internet has made it easier because content is available easy. So I to copy content from any source that lead into plagiarism. That's why internet has made it easy. But I request you read it as this internet has made it very difficult for everyone to plagiarize. That is what is the opposite of this statement, and that is what is true also. So in both statements are correct. Internet has made it easier as well as internet has made it difficult. Why difficult? If you are taking any content from internet, that is available for anybody to check it. So that plagiarism can be easily detected. Now, this happened generally because people try to compete and people try to do group submission of assignments, and you started taking the content, and you will be noted as that you have taken somebody's content. And if you are taking somebody's content without that permission, you are chore, no? Generally, you are a thief if you are not asking permission to take somebody's content. That's why I put this picture. So you are an electronic chore, e-chore, in that context. So what is plagiarism? Let me take the simple definition of it now. Plagiarism is act of presenting another's work or idea. I stopped it there, ideas. Act of presenting another's work or idea. Is it plagiarism? It's not, because the act of presenting another's work or idea is permitted. But what is not permitted? Read the last three words. Act of presenting another work or idea as your own is what is plagiarism. So if you are taking somebody's content, then if you are telling it is mine, that means you are not acknowledging, you are not citing, you are not giving the bibliography, not giving the reference, then it's what is called plagiarism. It's so simple. So if you look at this picture is not mine. This idea is not mine. So what I did, I give a reference here where from I have taken this picture. So that clearly indicate that this is not created by Manoj Kumar. Now next one, giving little more good definition. I am elaborating the definition which I have given as simple. It's act of stealing someone. I put a figure there who look as a thief, stealing someone else's work, attempting and pass it off as your own. This is what is plagiarism, and this is applicable to anything from photographs, songs, ideas. So look at this. Idea is also copying of somebody's idea is also leading to plagiarism. So how do you justify the idea is your idea or somebody's idea? So that's why you have to be very careful when you are writing an article, taking idea from that. And why this is important? When we send a paper for publication, there are things which are important for me in the context of my topic now. What are the two things? One is originality. If I send a paper for publication, what the editorial board will look into the paper, what the reviewer will look into the paper is whether this paper has anything original in it, whether researcher has put any effort of his to find out anything new. That's why extension to the existing knowledge. And how does a reviewer make sure that content is not copied or not? He cannot go to every article, every journal and check it whether it is taken. So he has to use a tool there. That is what is plagiarism tools. So what is important from this slide is the currency of reference. One is originality, second the reference. These two are important with respect to my topic. If you take content and if you cite it properly, 90% you are almost free from the allegation or challenging of plagiarism. And how papers are made? Papers are made. Generally, we tell that we refer a lot of articles, we sit on the reference book, we read it, and in the literature or poetic sense, we tell that we burn the midnight oil to write a paper. Such hard work is put into for writing a paper. But what is happening now? Or what was happening earlier? People go to various 3-4 sources. And can I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what is your favorite keys on the keyboard? I am not seeing any of you, but I can guess the smile on your face right now because you know the key combination. Which are the favorite keys? Control C, Control V. Everybody knows it. So control C is for copying, control V is for pasting. So this becomes a favorite key combination for everybody because that is the easiest thing to do. You can control C, control V. That's why you go to 3 different articles, use control C, control V and join together and create an article. Plagiarism is made very easy. And this is not acceptable. If it is acceptable, there are punishment, which is also part of my talk. I will give you that what are the punishment you will be able to do. So this is one thing which works. So I say no to plagiarism. Let us say that we don't want to interfere into it. And I have few slides. Let me see what is the time. It's almost 10 minutes left now. I have few examples. If time permits, you give me little 10 minutes more. Yes, sir. Any questions, sir? How much time I have left with now? If I am looking at it is 12 minutes left. Correct, no?
So please take 5 more minutes, no problem.
I can that means 15 minutes I can take, correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Then it's okay. If everything is going smoothly and any problem in interpretation, any understanding problem, just put a thumbs up. I will start explaining it again, or slide is not coming, or my voice is not audible or not clear if I am going fast. So say no to plagiarism. Now definition. I gave a very simple definition to make you understand that. How? Now see little more point by points. According to the Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, plagiarism means to steal and pass off anybody's idea or words as you want, which is already there even in the previous slide, to use another production that is without crediting source. You are using somebody's work, production without crediting. And third one is what I mentioned there is commit literary theft. If you are taking, you will be treated as a man who has committed a crime. That's why there are punishment and consequences. At present, as new and original idea, and you are presenting somebody's new idea as new and original, which is derived from other existing source. All this is as per the Webster's online dictionary, which is the most accepted online dictionary like our Oxford dictionary. This is the definition. And why people plagiarize, let me put it just, it's because of lack of knowledge, lack of communication, proper language, fear of failure, lack of enforcement. Pressure to publish means 2 articles to be published in international or care journal or Scopus journal for getting the PhD. So that is kind of pressure to publish. Competition, parental and college pressure, and we have a period and we have to finish it. Laziness and lack of proper planning and to influence others. And right now earlier there was like there was a kind of indexing for faculty member for promotion. So ACP or whatever you call now, the new format has come for measuring. So for all that, you don't have right work to done. So you try to copy. This is what is the problem. Problem of it now. Let's go. Now, can we copy somebody or not? Using someone else's exact words without using quotation mark or citation, that is plagiarism. Using someone's idea, if you are taking somebody's idea completely from one article and in no citation, it is plagiarism. And there are few people who are very good in English language. So what they will do, they will rearrange the words, take the word sentence, make it change few words there, and instead of happy, the original author might have used I am privileged, you will write I am happy. So this kind of rearrangement of words will be so that directly it will not look like you have copied. But that also lead to plagiarism if you are plagiarism. And there are 4 types of plagiarism. One is the complete plagiarism. Second one is the copy paste. Complete plagiarism is what I mentioned. You are doing Control C, Control V, and there is another keyboard. What is that? Is called Control A. Control A and Control C. Control A is copy all. Control C is Control A, Control C, Control V. That means copy all, paste all. That means the entire article. That is complete plagiarism. That cannot be at any cost. It cannot be approved or agreed by anybody. And the other one is copy paste. Suppose you are using a quotation, you have to use copy paste, control C, control V. Don't try to make your own statement mentioning somebody's name or quotation mark. If it is quotation, take it as it is. So you have to use copy paste. But copy paste without citation, without giving in bibliography, or without mentioning the original author is plagiarism. Second type. And the third type is word switch, which I mentioned that some of the word you will switch. That's language play. If you know the game of using language, English language, you can make active sentence to passive sentence to active sentence. And the software will not be able to directly catch it. But nowadays, word switch is also able to find out by software. What they are doing, the software will take one complete page and take all the words and see how many words are there which is similar. So it will show that 80% words are similar, 20% is changed. The software is still able to detect words in. And the last one is self-plagiarism. I wrote an article and published it. Later I am using the same article in my PhD thesis. You can do that. You are supposed to do this because everywhere the practice is like that. I can use my own article, publish somewhere in my thesis, but provided you cite it properly and don't copy it as it is together. Now people will ask that, how it will lead that it is my own work. If it's your own work, the publisher is different. Tomorrow it is published in my journal and you have taken it and published in another journal. So give a disclaimer when you are sending an article to the publisher telling that this is part of my research work which may be used later in my PhD thesis. So you are almost free from that. So later you can take part of it and cite it properly. Mention that this is already published. If you want to read more, go to the original article. This is where it is available. This is possible. So avoid self-plagiarism, stop plagiarism. There is an extraordinary notification issued by UGC in the year 2018. How many of you have read it? If you have not read till today, I request you that please read it today. Come to Shodhganga website and go to the download. There are UGC notification. There are 3 notifications. One is issued in 2009, then it is amended in 2016 to include the plagiarism concept, and later a simple notification which mention only about plagiarism. This notification UGC tells about how much plagiarism is possible. And UGC notification tells that up to 10% plagiarism is allowed. So if your article is having 10% on scanning by any software, that is okay. That is acceptable as per UGC. It may not be 0. But what is not allowed, if anything more than 10, there are different categories. So the category is 10 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 and above. And student, there is a penalty. Faculty, there is another penalty. This is all told in this extraordinary notification. That is right. If it is less than 10, it's okay. 10 to 40, the researcher is asked to withdraw the script and resubmit it within 6 months. And if it is more than 60, they give 1 year time to redo that. If it is more than 60, there may be a chance that his registration will be cancelled, because more than 60 is treated that he has copied the content. He is an original plagiarist. So the registration to PhD and other courses, admission will be cancelled. So there is a chance that even if it is less copied. So that is why we need to check in a tool and find it ourselves, how much percentage is available, copied by yourself. Is it possible? And if you are writing your own content, there is no plagiarism. So it is better that all of you, when you are doing research, try to write your own. So that the challenge of plagiarism, you don't need to even check it. I used to tell that, we have IPC rules. Why IPC rules in India? Because to stop crimes. If everybody is honest, there is no need of IPC rules in the country. But we are not honest, there should be some checkpoints. That is why plagiarism detection software is there. We are looking forward for a day in India where this software will not be used at all, because everybody will be ethically aware You know, your topic today given is ethical consideration. Ethic cannot be defined as a simple word. It has honesty in it. It has sincerity in it. It's also integrity in it. So ethic is part of all this. You need to be honest. You should have integrity, and you should have awareness about the how to do the research ethically. So then only the ethical consideration will be met. So we have tools. If you are violating these rules, then we have tools to find out whether it is there. That's why universities mandated to check the content in a by using a software. Manual detection requires substantial effort. Computer assisted detection allows. So, you know, manual detection for any article, it's not possible. Going to every library and checking. So you need a computer assisted detection. That's why PDS was not very popular. I think Vice Chancellor might have done so many years back the PhD and research article. That time it was very tough for him to check it whether it is, because they were all very honest people. They don't need to check it because they are writing their own. Now internet has come, content is available online, so people started copying it. Now it become very difficult. So you need to have a computer assisted tool for that. So there are so many tools. Look at this. There are Indian tools like Check for Plagiarism, Drill Bit software, etc., which are people and unique check. But what India we have subscribed based on the parameter, UGC has selected a tool called Urkun. MHRD officials, UGC as well as InfluNet with a national level committee has put a tender, and we tried to evaluate software. Also, money was a consideration. So there are even software which are better than or equal to, you can say, Urkun. But the problem is that we could not buy that software. Earlier we bought it in 2004. When the price was increased, we were not able to use it. So that's why the 70 parameter we tried to evaluate, and Urkun from Sweden came out in that. So we have subscribed this Urkun for last 4 years now, including the last attempt also Urkun has become. And you can see 3.7 lakh documents are submitted in Urkun. So it is widely used. But some of the institutions, they are already heading like Turnitin for the software. But there are some of them are continuing with that software. But as per UGC mandate, you have to use a software, plagiarism detection software. And Internet is giving this Urkun free of cost to all Indian universities. So it is up to university to decide that whether you should use this one or that one or any other thing. As far as concerned, these two software we have tested it good, and we are looking for a make in India product. In the times we have to work it on it and try to develop it our own, so that we can tell no to that, and our shows Shuddhi will be based on Indian product. That make in India is one of them. So how to avoid plagiarism? I'll tell you that these two slides, if you are watching, that is the best thing to do. You don't need any tool. One way to avoid plagiarism is reading something, putting into your own words. So don't try to read one article and put your own words. Rather than read 2, 3, 4 articles from various sources and try to put in your own words. Then no author will claim that it is mine, because you are taking the same thing from 3, 4 articles. So that is best way. This is what is the best way recommended by many of the faculties. It doesn't mean that you are always, you have to do your own work also for your work. But where the review and etc. is coming, this is the right way of doing. Another way is credit the author. You want to take it, you don't have any other way except taking the content as it is. So take it and give the credit to the author. And if you are taking more content, ask permission from the author. And use quotation wherever is possible. That is another way of avoiding. Or tell at the beginning of the sentence itself that what you thought, paraphrase or summarize next coming in the paper is not yours. So you are telling what come next is someone else's idea. So you can read it from this website, northwesternedu.avoid plagiarism. They have given how to avoid it. Points are discussed in an article there. So you can see that. Just by reading article and writing will not create you. You cannot make you a researcher. You have to do your own work. That is more important. 80% of your, 20% of your reading and putting all the work together in a publication make you the best. So do your own work. Keep careful and track of all your resources and nodes. Keep track of all. But how do you keep track of all the resource sources? Have you heard about something called mentally Zotero? Note it down. Mentally Zotero. Just create an account on that. It's a reference management system. Whenever you read an article, drag and drop into that mentally. It will automatically create the citation. So that even after few years, you will come to know which article you read. The article will be part of your reference. So Zotero, Z-O-T-E-R-O, Zotero or mentally, M-A-N-T-E, mentally are the two reference managers. So keep track of it, understand everything you are doing, finally acknowledge everybody who contributed to the work. And this is the best slide, I should say, in my presentation, avoiding plagiarism. So, attribute reference I mentioned, describe all sources, use reference management system, I told, give acknowledgement wherever possible, and provide footnotes. If you are taking content from one page or one article and writing a page of your own, definitely this full page is the snapshot of an article which is already published. So give the reference in the footnote itself there, and also ask the permission from the author. If the total overall percentage is going above 10%, you have to rewrite the articles. And use quotation mark wherever required. Paraphrase the original attributed work. For expensive quotation, obtain permission from publisher. Avoid self-plagiarism by taking permission from the previous publisher, which I mentioned. And obtain the permission if you are using data set, drawings, and other illustrations, picture, graph. Take it from the original author or publisher itself. If you are following all the things, we don't need to use plagiarism detection software. Say goodbye to PDS. We don't need to use it. And punishment, these are the consequences. Are you ready to see the consequences now? You know, anyway, how many people are attending, I don't know. It has people are telling 1800, is it right? So, many of the people are, somebody can put it in chat, how many are registering, I can see that. Okay, the question can be taken from everybody through chat and give it to me so that I will answer that very selective questions which is useful for everybody. And public disclosure, this is not part of it. Sorry? Sir, any questions, sir? Kamal, sir? No. I'm continuing then.
To my mind, your deliberations were so very useful and informative that perhaps the researchers have got a very, very clear idea, because there were a lot of confusion in the mind of the students and researchers as to plagiarism. As I've told you in the very beginning, that it's a very scary, at the same time sensitive issue too. So most of the people do not understand, I mean, what exactly it means, and you have made it very, very clear. So I think that way, I mean, it's a very, very informative session indeed, and our eternal thankfulness to you for this beautiful session.
Okay, sir. So I continue for 5 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I have time.
Now this is punishment. This is more important, sir. And the public disclosure, if you are a plagiarist, it will appear in the university notice board. If you are in a very senior position, that will go to media, in the local newspaper. If you are a national figure, it will come in the front page with a color photograph. And your 50 years of research is going to be at stake, which we are very honest because of one paragraph you have taken or your pupil, somebody you are associated. And if a paper is plagiarized, all the authors of the paper is under the question of plagiarism. So we have in India, one of the Director General resigned due to plagiarism challenge. We have in India, one of the Vice Chancellor is put into jail for a day for plagiarism. One of the Vice Chancellor of the very, very famous university in the country. is put into. And this all happened in the country. I'm just sharing. I'm not telling they have plagiarized. There is another version of this. Their student plagiarized. They wrote the article, research scholar, and their research associate plagiarized. And that picture is still there in the website. That is more. That is why public disclosure is more harmful than any other punishment, because it will already kill your ego, your reputation, your standing, your respect, everything. Then loss of research funding, MRP and MR, etc. They will lose loss of professional status and termination of employment, legal actions, and research scholar could lose registration of plagiarism, Times of India, because if it is more than 60%, I have taken it is there already. Plagiarism government action against BBC, called for one university vice chancellor, and these are some of the things. I request you don't take photograph of this and publish it. This is for your. I am specifically addressing university, sir. My request to all of you: don't snapshot it and put it to public view. I just skip it. That so if you look at this last line, one of the Indian author challenged the former president of Royal Society for inappropriately claiming credit to his source. So he apologized for that. Then I have a news from my city. 5 IAMA professor accused of plagiarism. They have not done it, but somebody accused it. And look at this. So I have given what is happening in the country. This is one girl who she was into fame like Booker Prize, not Booker Prize, but almost equal prize. And she was in the media for 1 week, named Kavya Vishwanathan. And later it came to know that the complete book was, the purple matter got hidden, got wild, and got alive. The book title was plagiarized. And she could get away with the punishment because she was below, she was a teenager, 19 years. And the man who paid the highest amount of money, $400 billion, not for PPT copying or article, just for song lyrics. As far as I understand, this is the information I have, who has paid the highest payback for plagiarizing. So these are some of the consequences. Justin Bieber, some of your heart was also in the controversy in Mumbai, and the same stadium I went and delivered a lecture, same institute. After some time, they were telling, yes, this happened in our lip sync it was doing, so that was challenged. But one of the song also is been challenged for plagiarism. And there was a movie which is challenged for plagiarism, and there are incidents in various states like a plagiarism. One book case, Road to Mecca is copied by somebody, and this one, Akshay Kumar's Padman. This has been these are all newspaper clippings. Newspaper clippings anybody can show. No, there is no problem on that. And this also came so. Plagiarism appear in everywhere. We have to be very careful. We have to teach the students. I am addressing the faculty, not for you to make care of it. At least teach your students how best, and they are taking from the internet and writing an article. This is like UGC put a draft regulation. Then ultimately they put it as a notification in 2018. 15 they put it, and following some of the things from China, UK, and US. China, the entire this suspension, removal of degrees are there. UK higher education institute has its own mechanism, and in India the plagiarism issues to be dealt by university. There is no other body to deal with that. University should have two committees. One is a departmental committee, another is an institutional committee. And if you have not created, these two committees has to be created as per the guideline. And one is departmental committee, another is institutional committee. Institutional committee, there should be members from external. And any challenge comes, put it to the two committees and get the report, and finally VC should decide whether there is a plagiarism challenge or not. And that is what is the notification says about it. And the similarity, there are certain things which is excluded. If it is appearing, that it should not be treated as that. So there are core area and non-core area. In core area, it is 0%. Core area, as per UGC policy. What is core area? Recommendation is core area. Conclusion is core area. Future direction is core area. And these are the area you cannot have plagiarized content. But there are area methodology you have to. And literature review, you have to quote. In that case, quoted work reproduced with the necessary permission attribution, that can be excluded. Even if the software shows it is copied, you can remove it. That is what is excluding the copy. References, bibliography, table of content, preface, acknowledgement. And generic terms, law, standard symbol, standard education. E sum MC square, he was mentioning Einstein. If E sum MC square is used, you don't need to quote Einstein for that, because it's a common formula, everybody knows. India got independence, you don't need to quote anybody, because these are the common facts. So common knowledge, common error, generic terms, law, and generic terms, when I am referring, generic terms in the subject, it may be new for others, that will be unknown for other subject experts. But in the chemistry, there are certain generic terms. Benzene structure is generic. And these are the things you don't need to quote anybody when you are using. And as per the suggestions, the committee, higher education institution should have a lot of policy. And one of the main thing is giving awareness. And you are calling me to deliver the lecture, not you. Now, I have almost 50 talks scheduled this year, which are because of the awareness to be created. And almost 1 plus lecture we have done on this, because UGC mandated, it has to be conducted. You have to record it and you have to show that, yes, we are doing. Otherwise, we cannot accuse the researcher if you are not properly educated. We cannot accuse, oh, you did it, it is wrong. We have to give them education, awareness, telling that, and they have to attend it, they have to understand it. So those who are understanding, these are the policies. There are departmental academic integrity panel, institutional academic integrity panel, 2 panel. One is department head and members. This, I think you will read the notification which is available. Second is created by the vice chancellor, where PVC itself is a member chairman, and there should be an external person from that. The second person committee also tell that this is plagiarized. Now VC has to take whether to withdraw the PhD or registration is to answer, and give fair chance. I repeat, whoever is in the committee member, give fair chance to the researcher that have not done plagiarism, not as a kind of punishment or challenging rhetorical mind. And this is the level of plagiarism, 10, 40, 60. I mentioned that. And what is the punishment? Similarity, minor penalty. And there are level 1, level 2, level 3, there are penalties. So take one example that if 10 to 40% student has to submit the script within 6 months. If level 2, give a period of 1 year to resubmit it. If 60, registration of the will be cancelled. So there should, and this all comes when it is published. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. A person is not challenged for plagiarism. He has not published anything. If it is published, then only all these rules are applied. At the time of writing or draft submission, there is no plagiarism, because it is all draft. If it is printed and published, you got a metadata for citation, then that means that these are the rules to be followed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think be honest. This picture I put, honest with your mind, soul, and heart, to avoid the consequences because of plagiarism. And when in doubt, the mantra, when in doubt, cite it out. And beware, ladies and gentlemen, if your picture appear in the newspaper with plagiarism, I will take it and put it in my slideshow to other university. So this is a warning telling that beware that I will put your photo here and I will show to others. So that is the kind of last note that, and that's all about the talk today. And I wish you ethical consideration in the conduct of research is the topic, and mine is specifically on plagiarism. And I hope that you. This is my email address, manoj@inflimnet.ic.in. You can send a mail mentioning that you are appeared here. Otherwise, I will request you your question to route through Gayatri madam, because they themselves can answer many of the questions. If it is still not able to answer, you can get in touch with it. And thank you very much for patiently listening me. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you once again, sir. To all our participants, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. the same link will be open and will be sent to your registered email ID.
Any questions, sir?
We are not. We'll take questions if it comes on the YouTube. We will forward it to you. Right now, we are not capturing the questions directly. I'm monitoring the YouTube, but there are no questions per se.
So how many people are watching in YouTube?
I think total.
15.
And once again, thank you very much. Then, madam, what was the question?
1500 participants in two platforms, sir.
Oh, 1500. That's
And
quite good.
yeah, the presentation that most explained.
Okay, those who are watching the presentation in YouTube, go to there and hit a thumbs up, like for that, so that will give motivation to you as well as for me. So I request that put and like, nothing or subscribe to that channel so that they can watch later, and that will also give a good feedback for us. If there is
So there are translates, sir.
audio is not clear, madam.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Kamal, sir.
Yes, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, you have any question? Three of you have any questions so that will benefit others? One or two questions I will answer.
In fact, to be very honest with you, sir, I mean, I do not have any specific question, but I have a concern for our student community, student fraternity as such, those who are engaging themselves gradually into research, because nowadays we are having more emphasis on research work. This particular talk, I think, I mean, it would be of great help if we could invite once again to our university campus once this problem is over, so that I mean, they can have a very good interaction with you and could get into, I mean, and it can be ingrained into them as to what plagiarism is all about and how, I mean, one can avoid it without getting trapped into it and really go ahead with the in the brightness of life. So I think, I mean, your deliberations in the university amongst the student community would be of great help.
Yes, sir. Most welcome, sir. When the COVID time gets over, we are able to move and we are back to our normalcy. Send me a mail. I am very much, Gayatri madam, you have my contact, and I will be very, very interested. It's in Gujarat, so I can decide in 3 days' time also, if you give a notice. Make it on Saturday so that that will be convenient for me without disturbing my schedule.
I will take note of that. It will be good. Saturday could be a convenient time for you, and it.
And I congratulate all of you for taking this kind of initiative. This is best for the academic. We have find a good result rather than coming to university. People are forced to attend it, but online they are not forced. So the enthusiasm and the understanding of learning is more, I felt. So I congratulate you for taking this initiative online.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I close?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन हो गया